WLBT News starts now with breaking news.
And we are following breaking news at this hour.
Our Ashley Garner is on the scene of an armed robbery on Old Canton Road. She's joining us live with details. Ashley, what can you tell us?
Right now, Jackson police are investigating an armed robbery here at this Exxon gas station on Old Canton Road near Pear Archer. Take a look here behind me this morning. Several police cars still here on the scene investigating exactly what happened here this morning. Now, according to Jackson police, shortly before 4 o'clock this morning, this business was robbed here, the Kangaroo Exxon here on Pear Archer Road here in North Jackson. Now, we're told Jackson police are searching for a black male that was wearing a gray hoodie and blue jeans this morning. Again, Jackson police looking for a black male that was wearing a gray hoodie and blue jeans that robbed this Exxon gas station here on Pear Archer Road this morning. Those are the only details that Jackson police have given us at this time, but we are working to learn more details. There's no word on any injuries at this time, but we are told that at least one person was robbed here at this Exxon gas station. Again, several Jackson police cars still out here, several Jackson police officers still here on the scene this morning investigating this armed robbery, and of course we'll be out here all morning and continue to update you as soon as we learn any more developments. Reporting live in Jackson, Ashley Garner, 3 on your side.
All right, thanks for that update, Ashley. I want to give you the latest information right now on what's happening in the weather in Mississippi. We've got cloudy conditions outside right now and some patches of fog that you're going to find most prevalent in the southeastern portion of the state. That's southeast of Hattiesburg. It's around Biloxi, around those coastal areas. So if that's where you're traveling to this morning, want to make sure you're going a little extra slowly. If you're staying local, we do have, again, a couple patches of fog. We also have some warm temperatures. We're in the mid-60s right now at 66 Jackson, 63 in Raleigh, and 64 Prentiss. Expect that we're going to stay in the mid-60s for the next several hours. I'll have a full update on what's going on hour by hour through the day today in just a few minutes.
Right now, many folks in Hinds County are waking up in the dark. According to Entergy's website, more than 1,000 people in the metro area are without electricity. The loss of power is affecting an area near Highway 80 and Interstate 220 in South Jackson. There's no word yet on when power might be restored or what caused the outage. The most controversial measure in this year's election, Initiative 42, failed to pass after hours of vote counting last night.
Take a look at the numbers for yourself. With 96% of the votes in, that measure failed by a pretty close margin. You can see it there. Voters who chose to support an education funding amendment had to choose between Initiative 42 and 42A. More voters supported 42 than the alternative, but that's a moot point now since voters decided not to implement either one.
We're disappointed, but we are not giving up. We have not, this is not stopping us. You know, we're educators and we have fought for our students for years. Our parents have fought for our students, and we're just going to keep that fight right on.
Some Initiative 42 supporters say with the alternative and the multi-step voting, that made the whole process too confusing, and they think that's why it ultimately failed. Governor Phil Bryant will serve another 4 years in office.
Here's a look at the numbers in that race. Governor Bryant easily defeated with Robert Gray and Sean O'Hara with 66% of the votes, easily beating Democratic opponent Robert Gray most of Tuesday evening, in fact. The GOP watch party room was filled with supporters. The Republican winners gathered in one location and took the stage together as a team.
If you look at the amount of votes that we received going into a second term, that to me shows that people appreciate what we've done. We've worked very hard. We thank them for being part of the agenda, part of the plan. So it's going to be 4 more years of more of the same, hardworking, putting people to work, innovation and education.
The 60-year-old governor told us the most important item on his agenda for the next 4 years is education. His platform consisted of conservative fiscal policy, education reform, and promoting small businesses in Mississippi. Well, he, as a truck driver, thrust into the Mississippi political spotlight with a Democratic primary victory that came out of nowhere. Robert Gray's political aspirations came to an end last night with Bryant's victory. Gray says he got into the race to improve health care and education for all Mississippians. Over the past month, he has traveled the state talking to voters about the issues they're concerned about. Gray won the primary after spending only $50 on his campaign. He spent about $5,000 on the general election and says he has no regrets.
Do you think you will ever get back into politics?
No.
Tell me why. Like I said, it was a one-shot deal. You know, I could do the job, wanted to do the job, and knew how to do the job. And won't do it again.
Some on social media joked that Gray may have jinxed his winning formula by voting for himself in the general election. He did not vote in the primary and won. He will return to his job as a truck driver in the coming days.
Jim Hood is holding on to his seat as Attorney General. He remains the only Democrat in a statewide elected position. With 95% of precincts reporting, he defeated Republican Mike Hurst with 56% of the vote. He thanked supporters at the King Edward Hotel last night. Hurst was not able to discredit Hood enough to pull off an upset, and Hood says he'll keep his priorities on protecting Mississippi families.
We prosecuted 3 times more public corruption cases in the Attorney General's office than my opponent ever had. That's not even counting my DA cases. So, you know, that was it was a one-issue campaign on his side, and, you know, we were running on a broad spectrum of what the Attorney General can do to protect Mississippians.
Hood admitted this was a closer race than in years past, but he's ready to keep working in his 4th term as Attorney General.
Residents in Stone County are waking up this morning without any official election results. That's because a major computer glitch forced poll workers to hand count all the ballots. Stone County Election Commissioner Martha Smith said the computer that uploads the votes to the Secretary of State's office here in Jackson broke down. That means poll workers were forced to work throughout the night hand counting votes in 11 county elections. Stone County resident Richard Smith was on hand and watched as officials were forced to count votes the old-fashioned way.
Just counting by hand, adding up on an adding machine and getting the totals and counting it out.
Meanwhile, the Jackson County Election Commission did not tabulate all the votes until 11:15 last night. Martha Smith says the votes are unofficial until they can be uploaded on another computer and sent here to Jackson. Officials hope everything will be completed by 10 this morning. You can find complete election coverage on our website. Go to msnewsnow.com and click on the election tab at the top of our homepage for all the results.
A presidential nod for the Sanderson Farms Championship. That's because former first daughter Jenna Bush Hager was in town yesterday. She served as the keynote speaker for the women's luncheon, which was held at the Country Club of Jackson. Bush Hager talked about her life in the White House, but more importantly, her role as a mom to 2 young daughters. She says being a mom is a reminder about how important it is to support a medical facility that caters to children.
I love being here in Jackson, and it does raise money for the great children's hospital you guys have in your area. I get to go in a minute and meet some of the kids, which I can't wait. And so I think, you know, it's really fun for me to get to be in a community like Jackson where women, this is a women's lunch, support the great institutions you have.
The money raised from this week's Sanderson Farms Championship golf tourney will support many local charities, including Blair E. Batson Children's Hospital. Well, your time right now is 6:08 and it's 65 degrees outside. We've got your traffic and weather together for you right over here at the big amazing monitor. Take a look. I-55 at Highway 463 rolling along just fine there through Madison County. No issues to report to you on this Wednesday morning as you make your way out the door. However, Julia is tracking a couple patches of fog, right, Julia?
That's right. You may want to just go a little extra slowly this morning, leave yourself a few extra minutes. If you're going to Jackson Country Club this morning to watch the Sanderson Farms Championship, well, here's what you need to know. Over the weekend, we're going to see temperatures that are a lot cooler than what we're looking at for today. But for today, our tee times are going to be in the upper 60s from 6:30 to 8:20 this morning. In the afternoon, around noontime, we'll be in the mid-70s for the tee times, and we're expecting a good amount of cloud cover during the day today. I'll have a full look at what to expect for the week ahead and the weekend right after the break.